Welcome to Sawtooth Revival. Snow's really starting to melt. Not much left, so it'll be interesting to see how much water is in here. But I mean, the scaffolding's up, so I don't care how much is in here. We're definitely gonna be climbing up there and doing some work. But as usual, there's a bunch in this area. But it looks like the area that I'm gonna be working in isn't terrible. I mean, there's a little bit pooled underneath this valley here. Kind of be expected in the valleys, but it's not bad, especially, like I said, where I'm gonna be working. So I think what I'd probably do is take the bulbs out of this light. There's two more over in these two sections, take those out. Maybe then take all the bulbs out of this long fluorescent one here. Maybe just start in this end and just see how far over I can go. And then climb up on top of the scaffolding and just start taking the lights down. It'll be a whole lot easier to move the scaffolding from this end to that end and work on stuff hanging from the ceiling once that stuff is out of here. So that's the first thing to do, get the lowest stuff out of the way so we can start moving the scaffolding, and then maybe start taking the vent down from here down this direction. I don't really know how long it's gonna take. Hopefully that vent doesn't, you know, fight with me. Hopefully it comes down pretty easily, but we'll see. The dumpster's emptied, so I was kind of hoping to roll up that door, keep going through this pile as well today. Maybe just spend an hour over here going through it, but because this is so wet, I mean, it kind of gives me an excuse to kind of hold off on it for now and then just work on this. Yesterday we were able to knock down the 3 lights that were here and that really long fluorescent light there. So it took longer than I had sort of thought, but while we were kind of moving around, I was trying to take down some clamps and things that were hanging from the I-beams and stuff. That way I can get them out of the way, because I mean, that scaffolding just barely fits around here. So any little thing that hangs down basically below the main I-beam, the scaffolding can get hung up on. So I took a little bit of time there, just getting stuff out of the way so I can kind of move it around. This is one of the clips that were kind of hanging down that would probably end up getting hung on. So figured save a little bit of frustration, just go ahead and take them down while I was at those spots. But it's amazing how just having the 3 lights gone here and that like 80 foot of fluorescent lights there. Getting those down, how much more open this feels. I mean, it's just these little narrow lights, this whole stretch just made the whole, I don't know, when you come in, it's just your eyes just get to that level and just kind of stops. But now it's just completely opened up to the I-beam. And it did take a little bit of time, but really considering how open this feels, it's, you know, it didn't take that long. There's definitely more hanging off like the front sections and the back sections. Yeah, there's conduit and all sorts of stuff hanging. That row of lights back there will probably take a little longer because they're not just that really long fluorescent lights. They're individually connected with conduit, and then they go up. So that might take a little longer, but the biggest thing is really getting these vents down. So that's what I'm gonna work on today. I'll climb up there and take a look what I need to do. I think I have an idea, but I need to drag all of this stuff out of the way so I can bring this scaffolding down. I think the plan is to start on this end and try to get it down as far this way before we hit that pile. Hopefully we can get as much of that down as possible. It's gonna make this whole area, front space, look a lot different. So yeah, let's drag this stuff out of the way first so we can get the scaffolding down here. All right, now that I'm up here, I have the scaffolding put in a spot where I can probably reach what I need to over here on this side of this awkwardly placed I-beam. So I'll be able to address that here in a minute. But these are the kind of brackets that I was talking about that hang down below the I-beam to kind of hold up some of the wiring. So here's one here too. So I'll probably take a few minutes to take this down, get the wires out of the way, and then we'll take a look at the vent. What I'm hoping to do is I think it's riveted on each corner. I'm hoping to drill out the rivets and then maybe it'll separate if I can pry it apart. I'm hoping to do that and break this end off, and then I can come in on these long brackets that go up, going that direction. You can kind of see them through there. It's just come in and cut them right here. Or I could probably even cut them up higher so that way these straps aren't hanging from the ceiling. Because I don't think I could reach, I think there's a flathead bolt through there. I don't know if I can reach that from where the scaffolding is. I think I probably need like an extra foot or two, but if I have to, I'll just cut them here, get them out of the way, and then it'll start dropping going that direction where I break this section free. I hope that works that way, because honestly, I don't want to cut it with the reciprocating saw. I think it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be really sharp. It's already going to be sharp enough as it is. I'm hoping I can just kind of break it free, get rid of those rivets, and then I can kind of move forward. So we'll work on these, get these out of the way first, and then we'll take a look at that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to just drill out those rivets and separate it that way. So I ended up having to take the reciprocating saw and start to cut it, but then the battery died, so I had to come down. One of the problems I was seeing while I was up there is the straps for the vent here and I think down here. Because the roof has dropped, there's a lot of slack in these. And then over here, this sawtooth is in pretty decent shape, so the straps up here are still tight. So once I cut that, this side might drop a little bit. So I'm gonna have to be really careful about having my hands and the saw in there somewhere, because once that breaks loose, this side might drop down. It might. Depends on how well it's secured on that side. So it might still be all right. This end might drop a little bit, so I'll be really careful with that. So another challenge is the fact that I can't get the scaffolding on this side to just cut this side. So I was working on cutting like a little notch on the bottom there so I could put the saw through and then cut this side down first and then across the bottom. I hope that works all right. But what's gonna be nice is once this is down, then I can get the scaffolding through on this side. I can't get through there with that vent up there. So once I get this down, I can come in here and start cleaning all this stuff up and work that direction. So, I mean, it's a huge deal to get this down other than just visually. Progress will start to pick up once this is out of the way. So, yeah, I'm gonna hop back up there and we'll see if we can get this separated, because I don't think it's gonna be a big deal to just cut these straps down and have this thing start coming down all the way across. Once I get over so far, then I'll have to probably cut it again. I'd love to be able to take it all the way down to where it tees off there, or it has that 90 degree there, but I can't with this pile. So I'll probably have to get down so far and just cut it. Hopefully with the weight, and if it drops, hopefully it would be great if it broke, but I doubt I'll have that much luck. So anyway, let me climb back up there and see if we can get this separated. I'll feel better when it is. So we made some pretty good progress. This whole section's down from here over to there. That's actually a really good spot for us to stop there because it has a bracket on each side right here on this end. So I'll be able to work underneath here pretty safely, not have to worry about this falling down while we clean all this stuff up. So that's gone. All the lights through here are gone. So it's a nice big open area that I can pull the scaffolding down through here and not have to worry about stuff hanging down. So that's a pretty big deal. That'll definitely make it a little less frustrating, a little easier to kind of move that thing around. And it's amazing how much more open this whole section feels with just that row of lights gone. So that's pretty cool. If you could, consider subscribing. I think the next time we see you, I think there's gonna be a lot of progress. Consider subscribing and we'll see you next time. Bye.